This is Tea and Talk, a self-development podcast. A podcast dedicated to empowering, uplifting, inspiring, and celebrating women. I'm Tafieasstokes, your host, as well as women's health advocate, blogger, vlogger, and author of Grow Through It. Everyone has a story, and not everyone's story will start or end the same, but you can't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes it may take a few pages, chapters, or even a series to get you to the climax. You will get there if you continue to walk in the path you were destined to walk and keep turning those pages. It's time for you to end that chapter of your life that is holding you back, causing stagnation, self-doubt, self-hate, and negative self-talk. All you have to do is turn the page, sis, and start to write a new chapter. They say a woman is like a cup of tea. You can't tell her strength until you put her in hot water. Well, the water is hot, sis, so let's see your strength. Grab your tea and get comfortable and join me as I get into it on this episode of Tea and Talk. Hey loves, and happy Monday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Tea and Talk. This episode, I wanted to talk about allowing yourself to be a beginner. Whatever it is that you are doing, whether it be being an entrepreneur, having your own business, being a podcaster, being a blogger, being a vlogger, whatever the case, you have to allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off knowing everything about everything or even being an expert. Not only does it take time, but it takes patience, it takes research, and it takes experience. So give yourself some leniency and allow yourself to be a beginner and learn. No, you won't be perfect every time, but as time goes on with your experience and skills, maybe you will be more perfect at what it is you're doing. You'll get there, you just have to be patient. The key is consistency, because being consistent will help you to master the task. For instance, I was blogging. I had a website, which I no longer have anymore. However, I was blogging, and I was blogging every week, and I would upload my blog every Thursday. And I was consistent with that. I had time to blog because, or I made time to blog because my mind never shuts off. So I would always run across ideas and maybe start blogging on my notes on my phone, or have an idea and just jot down ideas on what I wanted to blog about. But I was consistent with that. In addition, I would try to have at least 3 months worth of blogs ahead of time, so that I didn't always have to push out content. It would always turn out to be more than that because I just love to write, but at least I put a cap on it as far as I needed at least 3 months worth of content ahead of time. I would write that in my agenda. I would write that in my phone, and I stayed consistent and true to that. And I really didn't stray away from that. Even though I don't have my website, I am still doing that. I am still blogging a little, but it's through like my Facebook business page. And the reason I'm not, I don't have my website is because I didn't get a lot of traffic on my website. People become so used to what they're used to, right? So when it comes to going off of like a social media that you're used to, or going to a website versus Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what have you, people don't really do that. So I'm not stopping my blog. I just shut down my website for a little. I'm going to continue to blog. I'm going to continue to gain followers and increase my audience. And then my plan is to open my website back up. So I'm consistent even without having that website. I'm so consistent in writing and having at least 3 months worth of content to keep it coming, keep it flowing, keep my process going and staying consistent and just to make sure that I'm pumping out content every week. It takes time to dedicate a certain amount of time to learn more of your passion, but it's gonna take time to dedicate a certain amount of time to learn your passion. You have to dedicate that time, research, look things up, look up other, if it's an influencer, look up influencers that are similar to your niche, or look up websites that are similar to your niche, or other social media accounts that are similar to your niche, not to copy them per se, but to get ideas to see how other people are doing it. And you'll be unique with your own, but you'll have kind of a foundation to go off of as far as how other people are doing it that have done it for a longer time than you because you're a beginner. So dedicate that time and learn more about your passion. And like I said, follow. You may research, but follow those similar profiles on IG. See what hashtags they're using. Follow those Facebook accounts. Subscribe to that website that's similar to your niche, just so that you have a foundation and you have ideas and you have things that are similar to what you're doing to kind of bounce off of, if you get what I'm saying. So follow what they do on a weekly basis. How much content are they putting out? What are they doing? What's their format? What's their plan? Reach out to them and see if they will give a helping hand. See if they will mentor you. See if they will help lead you down that path that you are trying to get down, that they may be already down because they've been doing it longer. Don't feel afraid or don't feel like a burden when it comes to asking, because you'll never know the answer if you never ask. And if the answer is yes, you have that person to help you to get better at your passion. And that's the ultimate goal, is to master your passion. Spend time to know the things, but don't make that an excuse as to not start. You have to jump. You can work through and learn on the job, but start. The process of learning never stops. Things are forever changing, and audiences are forever changing, and people want to see this versus this, and people don't want to see this versus this, and people want to see a video, people want to see so the process of learning never ever stops. You got to stay up on the times, know your audience, know what they want, know what you're putting out, and if it's meeting their needs, have them comment, have people try out your products, see if it's what they're looking for. But that's the learning process, which it never stops. Also know that making mistakes is not the end of the world. You will make a mistake. You will learn from that mistake. You may not make that mistake again. But allow yourself leniency. Don't be so hard on yourself, because that will push you to not want to keep going. That will decrease your self-esteem and whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And that'll decrease your motivation. So again, I say, allow yourself to be a beginner. Don't be afraid to be a beginner. Take the time you need. Be patient and trust the process. Be sure to give me a rating and your feedback at the end of this episode.
I would love to hear from you. Be sure to click the links in the description to learn more about how you can be part of the Tea Party VIP group and get more of Tea and Talk, plus additional offers, including a free copy of Grow Through It. To follow me on IG, click the link in the description. I'm so excited to talk to you all next week, so keep tuning in, and until next time, love and good vibes.